Hello folks and welcome back to the DJ channel. Just a quick one this morning. It's just gone 12 noon, so it's not morning anymore, but I'm a bit late in telling you this. But in the UK, we seem as if we're in the last stages of our death throes. In London, the London Metropolitan Police arrest a man for shouting back at protesters in favour of Palestinian. And his words, his nasty words were, God bless Israel, God bless the Jews. Arrested. Now, whilst the noise from the pro-Palestinian mob was deafening, the lone voice of one man countering their shouted message was approached by 4 police officers who, in a huddle, together had decided his counter-protest by shouting back his wish for God to bless Israel and its people was enough to arrest him. But they didn't think of arresting not even one of the pro-Palestinian mob that were disturbing the peace. They were screaming, they were shouting, they got their flags up, they got their placards up, and nothing but one man standing well away from them shouted, God bless Israel, God bless the Jews. Arrest him. Now, that was in London, okay? In Digbeth, Birmingham, an intoxicated immigrant who actually told them he was an immigrant, he's shouting abuse. He's totally out of his mind. He's so drunk and intoxicated, and he's staggering, and he falls on the floor, and he gets up, and as women go past with their children, of all races, by the way, he shouts abuse at them. He calls them bitches, in other words that I'm not going to use. And he's frightening these children and the women, and they're rushing past him. They're going round him. They're crossing the road, a busy road. And he's doing this. Where is this drunkard guy screaming and shouting and abusing people? He's outside Digbeth police station. He's outside it. He's right there. The man he confronts the drunk, telling him what he's doing is wrong and that he should get himself at home. Get yourself at home. But the drunk carries on marching up and down, staggering up and down, falling on the floor, getting up, abusing more women and so on. So then the man eventually starts filming the drunk, committing his public order offences. And he eventually, because the man's still not stopping, he calls into the Digbeth police station. Now, this police station has video cameras on its outside, so they can see this drunk. They can see him behaving this manner. So the man with the camera, he calls the police out. Now he says, I don't want him arrested, if possible. I'd rather he was just moved along. But the police are not listening to the man with the camera. No. They're not listening to the complainant who has the fences on his camera. But instead, they tell the cameraman he is the problem. He is the problem, to stop filming him. This is all totally wrong. Now, I'll tell you, he did get... Eventually, 4 or 5 of these police officers, they looked like young kids, to tell you the truth, but 3 of them were women, and I think there was maybe 2 men, male police officers. They went in, and their sergeant came out. Now, the sergeant listened, but he didn't look to me as if he was taking any notice. He listened, and he said, well, are you willing to give me your name? You're supposed to be getting the name of the culprit, the one who's committing the offence, not the one who's filming it. But anyhow, the cameraman says, well, I'll give you my first name. He says, and I'll give you an email address. So if you follow it through and it goes to court or into a caution and you send for me, I will then give you my name and address and identify. Then, clever man. The cameraman said he'd been in these situations before, and the police had taken his name and address and his age, his date of birth, and so on. and then he'd heard nothing of the complaint he'd made. So he wasn't falling for it this time. This is a two-tier policing system, isn't it? It's a two-tier problem, a two-tier policing problem where immigrants and pro-Palestinian protesters are seemingly protected, whilst people standing, they're standing there. It gets me sometimes. These immigrants and pro-Palestinian protesters, they're seemingly protected while people are standing still with signs offering help. You may remember the woman who's been arrested. She had a sign, 2 A4 pieces of paper on landscape size, and she'd got, "Here to help if you want." She's arrested and found guilty of a public order offence for offering help to people, and only to people who want help and approach her. She didn't approach anyone. Now, speaking up for what is right, what is just, or just offering help, are being vilified by the very police who make promises of protection of our rights, of our property, and of our well-being. It's not right. It's not on. But this problem, it's been around for many years, but it was hidden by politicians, by journalists, and by social workers, as we eventually found out when it was revealed that thousands of young girls and some boys who were systematically groomed and abused and raped, and these authorities, those in authority, they knew, and they did absolutely nothing. And it's coming out now, isn't it? These offences against our children has become highlighted once more along with the raids on households for tweets and for so-called hurty words. Uncontrolled immigration into the UK has completely changed the fabric of our countries. And woke left-wing imbeciles have degraded our communities and included Newspeak. Newspeak is a George Orwellian 1984 word he invented because words didn't mean the same anymore. And they've also introduced, these imbeciles, a language based on feelings and thoughts in opposition to facts. Two-tier policing, two-tier justice system, they've rendered the justice in the UK irrelevant and almost non-existent. Tell me your thoughts. I told you it was a quick one today. Tell me your thoughts. Let me have your thoughts. I enjoy reading them. Don't forget to press that like button. And also, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. It helps me to continue to do my research, to find these things out, and it encourages me. So, subscribe button, like button, comment. That's your part in this channel, and I welcome you playing your part. So until the next one, there probably will be one again later on today. But until then, be safe, be good, and goodbye from DJ. Bye for now.